Hello and welcome. It's David with Ag Economic Insights. I want to talk to you about the Forecast Network question of the week. And we've been following and having several questions throughout the growing season about readers and listeners' expectations regarding various yield estimates. But I want to share one of the most exciting questions we've had in the Forecast Network. And we have this one on a regular basis. And why I think it's exciting is because you can see how your own expectations change over time. I think it's really important to sort of calibrate or recalibrate our expectations as new information becomes available about a given uncertainty. And these questions are about above or below trend yields here in the US for 2021, specifically for corn and soybeans. So let's jump in and we'll talk about those questions. So the first one is, what's the probability of above trend yields in the US? So we define above trend at 179 bushels per acre per the November 2021 WASDE. And we opened this question all the way back in May. And as you can see, the consensus got as high as about 70% chance of occurring in mid-June. And then it's been pretty consistently declining over the last several months. And so right now the consensus is below 10%. It's about 6%. My forecast is about 16%. I'm probably a little bit too high. I'm going to need to adjust this, but as you can see, I've talked about this in other recordings, but I held on a little, I was probably watching the data and looking at historic trends a little too much. I wasn't following the narrative as closely as I should have. And so I was kind of hedging my bet a little bit, maybe a little too hard, staying around that 50-50, but clearly the trend has been going lower. And, right now the USDA's most recent estimate is below this number. So the question is, how does this last report dial us in with respect to this question? The other one, related companion, about soybean yields above trend, which we've, the important part about navigating uncertainty is we have to be specific. So these questions are designed to be very specific. What's the probability of the November 2021 WASDE report estimating the U.S. soybean yield above 50.0 bushels per acre? My current forecast is 91%. As you can see, the consensus has ebbed and flowed. It was about a 60% chance early in the growing season in May and June. It fell down to a 40% in July and August and September, but has recently turned higher in light of these bigger estimates coming from the USDA reports. So again, to recap, why is this important? Because we need to upgrade our thinking when it comes to uncertainty. And the way we can do that is ask better questions instead of, will corn yields be above trend? It's a specific number at a specific point in time. And the second point is we need to upgrade or recalibrate and update our thinking as new information becomes available. So these questions have been open since May. A lot of growing season has played out. Dr. Jeff Young has been helping us with the yield model project. He's been helping us dial in those expectations of various forecasts he's put together. And so a lot of this is how do we update our thinking in light of new information. And this is a great example. These questions are great examples of how that has occurred with respect to these questions. There's also a couple companion questions that we'll talk about in another video. And these have been about the probability of a tight corn and soybean stock situation per the January WASDE report. And of course, the latest October WASDE kind of changes the trajectory for both of those crops. And so encourage you to update your forecasts for existing users, current users, if you're new to the Forecast Network, new to AEI Premium, invite you to take advantage of our free 3-week trial. Get your forecast in there, get your flag in the ground where you think the expectations are going to play out, and then of course update it as new information becomes available. Again, thank you for joining me. Stay curious.